Hi, my name is Julia Davis, and today I will be presenting on the Duke Energy Center for the Performing Arts. Formerly named the Business Telecom Incorporated Energy Center for the Performing Arts, Duke Energy actually bought the naming rights for the Performing Arts Center in 2005 for a 20-year contract, and they bought it for $7.5 million. The resident companies at the Duke Energy Center for the Performing Arts include Broadway Series South, North Carolina Opera, Carolina Ballet, Hot Summer Nights, North Carolina Symphony, North Carolina Theater, and Pinecone. The different venues that the Duke Energy Center for the Performing Arts includes Memorial Auditorium, which is a proscenium type of theater, and this was also the first thing that was built in 1932. There is the Fletcher Opera Theater, the Maimandi Concert Hall, Kennedy Theater, which is a black box theater, Lichton Plaza, which is where drop-off and pickup are available, and also different outside festivals are hosted at Lichton Plaza. Martin Suite, Betty Ray McCain Art Gallery, Carolina Room. Lobby space is available for different events upon request. There are administrative offices, rehearsal rooms, dressing rooms, meeting rooms, as well as multi-purpose rooms. The box office is controlled by the Convention Center complex. The tickets are provided through Ticketmaster. There are some group deals that are available that a lot of Raleigh residents do take advantage of. The box office is open from Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The city of Raleigh actually handles all of the event staff hiring. There are absolutely no volunteers hired or allowed to work for the events, even though that there are some volunteers, a part of board of directors for some of the resident companies. Concessions for the Duke Energy Center for the Performing Arts is handled by a third party called Centerplate. And Centerplate receives all the revenue for concessions as well as catering. The merchandising is also handled by outside vendors. There are no gift shops or anything of that sort a part of the Duke Energy Center for the Performing Arts. So outside vendors are allowed to come and sell products for different events, and they are the ones who also collect all the revenue. There are 2 parking lots near the Duke Energy Center for the Performing Arts. Parking is $7 per car. There is no parking available after hours or after events. There is also a parking deck located near the Performing Arts Center. However, it is a little bit further to walk from the parking deck to the Performing Arts Center. So the Performing Arts Center has also provided a transportation service where they can transport people who are disabled from the parking deck to the Performing Arts Center. However, you must show your driver's license if you do take advantage of that service. The Duke Energy Center for the Performing Arts is located downtown Raleigh, North Carolina. Downtown Raleigh is a quiet area, not a lot of car traffic, not a lot of foot traffic, but it has a very unique, artsy, eclectic feel. It attracts a lot of young adults in Raleigh to come and kind of chill. It's a very tranquil area. There are some shopping centers near the area. There are a lot of different coffee shops, a lot of little hole-in-the-wall places, a couple of different restaurants, and it's also located near Shaw University, actually relatively very close to Shaw University. Downtown or Raleigh gets to be about 30 degrees to 40 degrees during the winter, and in the summertime the highest temperature is probably the low 90s, high 80s. For renting information, because the city of Raleigh does own and run the actual building, renting information is available to a plethora of people who might be interested in renting the facility. However, for actual performances, renting information goes directly to the Duke Energy Center for the Performing Arts and not the city. So all rentals must pay a $12 deposit when they turn in their signed contract. And then they can pay the rest of the deposit after the performance or the day of the performance. And for the Raleigh Memorial Auditorium, to rent that, it is the largest auditorium that the Duke Energy Center for the Performing Arts has. It seats 2,257 people. And Monday through Wednesday, for renting Monday through Wednesday, the price of one performance is $5,000. And from Thursday through Sunday, the price of performances are $6,100 per performance. The Kennedy Theater is the smallest theater. It is the Black Box Theater at the Duke Energy Center for the Performing Arts. It seats about 100 people, and Monday through Sunday for renting, it's $1,000 per performance. The structure of sharing at the Duke Energy Center for the Performing Arts is mostly geared towards the resident companies, meaning the resident companies have the top priority for using the facility. However, it is open to other companies as well. The resident company that I will go into detail about is the North Carolina Theater. And I chose this theater because it has quite an interesting history to me. It opened in 1984, founded by Deanne Jones. And actually the city of Raleigh hired Deanne Jones to create the North Carolina Theater and to run the theater, and to provide Raleigh with high-quality art performances and opportunities for students to learn theater. Jones was actually hired to live in Memorial Auditorium, so that was very interesting when I learned that she actually lives in the actual theater, and which just shows how much time she dedicates to running the theater and involving the community. She is required to put on at least 4 major performances a season. The mission statement of the North Carolina Theater is to strengthen the cultural vitality of the region and cultivate musical theater appreciation by producing outstanding professional Broadway musicals and developing the next generation of artists through youth training, performance, and outreach programs. There are 30 members on the board of directors. 16 are men, 14 are women. However, 100% of the board of directors are Caucasian. There are 2 community volunteers on the board of directors. However, as I mentioned before, with the Duke Energy Performing Arts Center, there are no volunteers for event staffing. The sales department has 11 employees. The concierge department has 12 employees. And the Emeritus Board, which is an honorary board of directors, has 17 members. The other departments are operated by 1 person, and they include the founder, the president and CEO, the artistic director, the producer, the development director, the technical director, business manager, box office manager, and the audience development manager. All departments work together in a sense. However, the CEO or president end up making the final decisions if different departments are having difficulty finalizing a decision. The The operating budget is about $2.5 million, and the all financial obligations or dealings are dealt with by Tricia McCoy, the business manager. The market competition includes Broadway Series South and the Hot Summer's Nights, which are both resident companies of the North Carolina, of the Duke Energy Center for the Performing Arts. And these are competitors because they also produce Broadway shows, and that is what North Carolina Theater does as well. There are over 15 donors and sponsors that range from $5,000 donations to over $25,000 donations. Some of the companies that are the presenting or season sponsors, which donate $25,000 or more, include ABB, Barton College, Bayer Core Science, Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, and Target. The season performances that the North Carolina Theater puts on will be about 3 to 5 shows. For the 2015 season, they will have 5 performances, and the first performance took place January 20th through 25th. The last thing I will share about the North Carolina Theater that I think is very interesting is the different educational programs that they have, and those include the Page to Stage program, Class Connection, Development Stage, Broadway Connections, Theater for Change, Stage to School Outreach Program, and the Summer Theater Arts School. All of these programs, these students only have to pay a minimal amount. Most of the sponsors and donors take care of the rest of the financial obligations, and they do have a lot of community involvement, which is why I chose to present the North Carolina Theater Resident Company of the Duke Energy Center for the Performing Arts. And that will conclude my presentation on the Duke Energy Center for the Performing Arts and the North Carolina Theater Resident Company. Thank you.